Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to tonight's episode of Love Bites, a live Buffy the Vampire Slayer reading. Before we get started, we would like to address the elephant in the room. Over the last few weeks, the creator of Buffy the Vampire Slayer has been accused of misogyny, racism, and workplace harassment. We would like to make it clear that tonight's show is in celebration of the actors and the crew who work to make Buffy such a beloved show that it is today, and not a reflection of the creator. Without further ado, I present Love Bites, a Buffy the Vampire Slayer reading. Interior night, bronze. A sexy rock song with a danceable beat pulses through the remodeled room as we move among dancing couples, including Xander and Anya, then Willow and Tara, moving past them across the floor. We come to find Buffy sitting alone at a table. She nods her head to the beat as she watches the dancers. On the tabletop are empty glasses, a candle, a few bills of money on a little black tray. Buffy watches her friend smiling wistfully, happy for their happiness, though somewhat ambivalent of her own non-couplehood. After a moment, Buffy.
There we go. Bleeding crime is what it is. Jacking up the bar prices to pay for fixing up the sinkhole. Not my fault they don't. Their insurance doesn't cover active troll.
Gee, maybe it's time you found another place to patronize.
Got half a mind to, specifically since the flowering onion got remodeled right off the sodden menu. Only thing this place had going for it, because I have spotted some walnut muffin tops that...
What are you doing, Spike?
What do you mean, what am I?
Here, at this table, talking to me like you and I are some kind of talking buddies.
Well, saw you sitting alone, thought, I don't know, you could maybe do with a bit of, company? Suit yourself. We took on that glory chippy together. I was right there with you, fighting the fight.
Actually, you were sleeping the sleep of the knocked unconscious.
Still, points for intent. You'd think that'd be enough to cut me a sliver of slack. Earn me a little consideration, respect.
Hey, Evil Dead, you're in my seat.
Bugger it.
Xander, I think you may have hurt his feelings.
You should never hurt the feelings of a serial killer. Actually, that's pretty good advice.
Tara and Willow approach.
So who's for another round of refreshments? I'm buying for I am Payday Man.
Yes. I love Payday Man. He's cool and rich.
I could use some water.
Water poses no challenge for Payday Man, for I have... Hey, where's my change? It was right. Spike, you diabolical fiend.
Poor Will. Headache still coming?
Fewer and further between, but yet they're still exercising their visitation rights.
Honey, in case you didn't hear me the first 6,000 times, no more teleportation spells.
Hey, you won't get an argument from me. Or maybe a tiny one. It's just, we've got squat in the way of Glory fighting Arsenal. Another run-in with her, and my headaches and nosebleeds will be the least of our problems.
Well, this is the first R&R I've had in weeks. Can I just go one night without hearing the name Glory?
I'm down with that. In fact, let's just call she who will not be named another name entirely. Let's call her...
Ben.
For example.
Hey.
Buffy, hi.
Barely recognized you out of your hospital scrubs.
You'd be surprised the extent of my wardrobe.
Really?
I've actually got entire outfits that aren't blue pajamas.
Listen, my sister, she told me what happened at the hospital before I got there.
Uh-huh.
Well, I just wanted to tell you, thanks for looking after her.
That's okay. Sorry I wasn't able to stick around.
It's probably just as well you didn't. Things got a little hairy, but everything's back to normal now.
I'm just glad Dawn's okay.
Yeah, she's fine. And maybe something good will come out of this hospital time, like she'll become a doctor.
Don't let her. It's really hard.
The point is, I worked for that money.
And you're saying I didn't?
What? Yes, I'm saying that. You didn't. You
And
stole.
you're making it into very hard work.
Listen, Bleach boy, I don't have a chip in my head. I could do lots more damage to you than you could ever do to me.
Yeah, like you could ever hurt me.
Spike reddens as he eyes Buffy and Ben with mounting jealousy. As if accentuating this, we hear a low rumbling and the screech of exterior Sunnydale passenger train. A passenger train as it pulls into the empty station. We pan along while it slows and picks up. A porter bored waiting on a platform reading a comic book and leaning on a baggage cart. He turns his attention to the train as it comes to a stop, shoves the comic book in his back pocket. The train sits idly for a moment, the sound of its engine echoing into the night like a heavy breathing of a massive beast brought down by exhaustion. The doors open, but no one emerges. The porter eyes the opening for a moment, then steps forward and calls in.
Sunnydale Station, last stop on this line.
He waits for struggling passengers, but no one appears. And here's where we bait the schmuck. The porter looks around, then he steps onto the train. Close on the porter as he enters, scanning the dimly lit interior until he suddenly freezes. An expression of unmitigated horror appears on his face. The porter's point of view, dead bodies strewn about the car, a businessman in his pressed white shirt, blood dripping from his neck, an elderly couple, their eyes wide open, mouths agape, in the abject terror, slumped in seats facing each other. A woman's arm dangles over the top of the seat, though we don't see the rest of her, blood dripping from her wrist. That's a lot of damage. Two others, both young men, lying partially in the aisles. They must have been fleeing when they were slaughtered. On the porter, looking ill, gasping for air, then pausing when he senses something behind him. Reverse angle as the porter slowly turns, goes wide-eyed with fear, then bolts for the exit at the other end of the car as we pursue him.
Oh God! Oh please!
He almost makes it out.
Help me! Please, please help me!
Shrieking, blackout. Exterior, Buffy's house, night. Joyce sits on the couch sipping hot cocoa from a mug, reading from a paperback. Giles is also there, sitting at the desk, pursuing one of his thick occult books. From the foyer, they hear the front door slam and look up. Buffy?
Back by popular demand. How's everything with the home team? And do I smell popcorn?
Cheddar.
Artificial cheese flavored powder, nature's perfect food.
Did you have a nice time?
I think I did. Much needed fun, apart from Willow's headaches and Spike's cameo appearance.
Spike was there?
Unfortunately, for a keep to himself kind of vamp, he's like everywhere I go.
So, what was he doing? Like, did you talk to him? Do you, was he doing stuff? What did he say?
I don't know. He's the cranky bronze, got rid of the flowering onion appetizer.
Huh. Likes onions.
Well, Well, I'm just relieved to have you home. To be honest, I wasn't feeling all that safe with you gone. At first, until I remembered that Mr. Giles, Rupert, was here, and I felt much, much safer.
Yeah, well, my ego thanks you for your little ruse, but I'm forced to agree that I'm barely an adequate substitute for a slayer in the house.
I thought you were adequate.
And the accolades keep pouring in. I'd best take my leave before my head swells any larger. Good night.
Night.
So
Buffy gets up and walks Giles to the door. They speak in hushed tones.
So Dawn, was she,
As far as I can see, she appears to be coping very well, extremely well, considering the extraordinary circumstances of her origin.
okay, then let me ask you something. Mom and I have been doing going a little easy on her these past few days, letting things slide, bedtime chores and other things.
I don't think that's all at all wise.
You don't?
The best thing you could do is behave exactly as you always have. Any special treatment at this stage could undermine Dawn's sense of normalcy.
You think so?
Oh, absolutely.
Thanks. Dawn! What? What did I tell you about borrowing my clothes without asking?
I didn't take your clothes.
Fool.
I'll just...
Giles gesturing to the door.
I never touched your stuff.
Oh, really? There. Where's my blue cashmere sweater?
Interior, Spike's crypt, close on a royal blue cashmere sweater. Widen to find Spike sitting in his chair, absent-mindedly caressing and fingering the sweater. Ew. Lost in thought and after a moment. Harmony appears in the archway wearing a lacy, silky, sexy teddy.
Mikey. Aren't you coming to bed?
Not tired.
Me neither. Don't you want to come in and tire me out?
Really not in the mood right now.
You're never in the mood. We can do something different tonight.
Like what? You stop yammering for 2 seconds?
Well, we could, I don't know, maybe play a game. Oh, I'm gonna stake you. I'm coming after you, you bad, evil vampire, and I'm gonna slay you. I'm sneaking up and I'm gonna stake you so much with my slaying powers that I have because I'm the chosen. Whoop! Oh, Spike.
Exterior, you see Sunnydale campus the next day, establishing interior comments on Buffy, Tara, and Willow strolling through post-class.
I just don't see why he couldn't have ended up with Esmeralda. They could have had a wedding right there, beneath the very bell tower where he labored thanklessly for all those years.
No. See, it can't end like that. Because all of Quasimodo's actions were selfishly motivated. He had no moral compass, no understanding of what was right. Everything he did out of love for a woman who'd never be able to love him back. Also, you can tell it's not going to have a happy ending when the main guy is all bumpy.
Okay, what do you think, Buffy?
The test is tomorrow. I don't have an opinion until tomorrow.
But you read it, right?
Kinda. I rented the movie.
Charles Lawton?
I'm not sure. Was he one of the singing gargoyles?
Oh, boy.
I'm kidding.
They pass a student reading a newspaper. We may not notice the headline, but Buffy does. She freezes in her tracks and takes a step back.
Are you done reading this?
She grabs the paper away, staring at the front page. The student starts to protest, but Buffy has moved on and he gives up because she's a bully. Buffy shows Will and Tara the headline. Close on headline, Metro Train Massacre. Below in smaller type, 6 found murdered on a train at Sunnydale Station.
6 found murdered on train at Sunnydale Station?
Glory?
Unconfirmed reports of severe trauma to the throats of one or more of the victims.
She looks up.
Survey says vampire.
Interior Spike's crypt day. Spike emerges from the hole in the floor of his crypt, climbing up a ladder.
It's you. What are you doing lurking about?
I'm not lurking. I'm looking. What are you doing?
Nothing.
So is
Spike
that
covers the hole with a slab.
so is that how you get around town during the daytime? Does that lead into the sewers or something? Could you show me?
No. What? Does Buffy know you're here?
Yeah, right. Because nothing would make her happier than me hanging out after school in a vampire's lair, especially yours.
Go home then.
I don't feel like it right now.
Well, you can't bloody well stay here.
Why not?
Because I've got things to do. Things. Bad things. Bad, evil things that are not for a child's eyes.
I'm not a child. I'm not even human. Like, not originally.
Well, originally, I was. I got over it. Doesn't seem to me it matters very much how you start out.
That's smart. I mean, I get that. I just like how you talk to me. Like I can understand things. You know, everybody else is being all twitchy and secretive, and
Just trying to keep you safe, I expect.
I feel safe when I'm with you.
Oof, take that back.
I mean, you've got that whole super strength thing, and you're just as tough as Buffy is. Maybe tougher. Even Buffy thinks so.
She does?
Well, she's always worried about what she's going to do if you ever get that chip out of your head. I figure she's scared that maybe you could take her.
Really? So, what else does Buffy say about me?
Interior Buffy's foyer day. On the front door as it opens and Buffy enters, Joyce calls from the kitchen. Dawn!
It's me.
Is Dawn with you?
No, isn't she here?
She never came home from school. Buffy, the news said something about people murdered.
It's not Glory. It's just about Dawn. Mom, she's probably just, I'll find her.
Buffy!
I'll find her.
Spike and Dawn, interior Spike's crypt, daytime. Spike and Dawn sit on the floor.
And the lady just invited you in?
Well, I had Hubby by the throat, didn't I? I promised her he'd live if she did the invite.
And did you? Like, let him live?
What do you think? Too much for you?
No, keep going. I mean, it's gross, but I want to know what happens.
Well, I went into the house. Lady was there with a couple of teenage sons, a little older than you. I killed them right quick, the whole lot, but someone was missing. There was supposed to be a little girl, so I got real quiet. And I hear this tiny noise coming from the coal bin. This little sigh. So I listened harder. It's very, very quiet. Bloody hell!
Spike, I need your help. Dawn is here.
Spike was just telling a story and he was just about to get to the cool part. I mean, can he finish, please?
What the hell is this? What is she doing here?
Just hanging out.
Here?
Just let him finish the story, okay? Then you can do the lecture.
Yeah, okay. Let's hear the story Spike's been telling my little sister.
Go on, Spike.
Right, yeah. So I knew the girl was in the coal bin. I ripped open, very violent, hauled her out of there, and gave her to a good family in a nice home where they were never ever mean to her and didn't lock her in the coal bin.
What? That's so lame.
I was just about to send her home. Knew you'd be fretting.
Dawn, grab your things and let's get out of here.
Ease up. She just wanted a break from the routine. A little rebellion's healthy. Builds character.
Don't want to hear one word from you.
She drags Dawn out. Exterior graveyard, moments later, daytime. As Buffy and Dawn make their way among the gravestones, Buffy scolds her sister.
And then to find you enjoying story hour at Spike's crypt. A crypt, Dawn. Not some hot dog on a stick boot at the mall, but a real live crypt with a real dead vampire. Why doesn't that register with you? Crypt plus vampire equals bad.
Because it was Spike.
Spike. Hanging out with Spike is not cool, Dawn. It's dangerous and icky.
I don't think Spike is icky.
Well, think again, sister. He's... You have a crush on Spike.
No, I don't. He's just got cool hair and he wears cool leather jackets and stuff, and he doesn't treat me like an alien.
Spike's a killer, Dawn. You cannot have a crush on a thing that's dead and evil and a vampire.
Right. That's why you were never with Angel for 3 years.
Angel was different. He has a soul.
Spike has a chip. Same diff. He fights demons too, you know. He told me about some pretty gross fights, actually, where like
I don't want to hear this. Okay. Spike is a monster, plus you're only 14 years old.
I like hanging out with him is all. And even if I did have a crush, he'd never in a million years notice. I mean, not with you around.
What does that mean?
He's totally into you.
Huh?
Come on, you don't see it? Buffy, Spike's completely in love with you.
Interior train car day. Close-up police tape stretched across the doorway of the car. It reads, "Police crime scene, no trespassing." A feminine hand reaches up and rips it away. Xander armed with a flashlight. The bodies have all been taken away, but there are tape outlines of the victims and the odd blood stain here and there.
Tell me what again we're looking for?
Clues.
Okay. Can you give me a clue of what type of clues?
I don't know. Something, anything. Just want to make sure this was a vamp attack. And if it was, how many are we talking about?
Well, Sunnydale's finest didn't leave a lot for us to examine. And who knows how many people have been trapeze here already?
Xander.
What?
Never mind. Dawn said that.
Yeah?
Forget it.
Buffy.
Dawn thinks she said that Spike might be in love with me. It's not a joke. It's not funny.
I hope not. It's funnier if it's true.
Serious. This is serious.
Right. Big bunches of flowers with that's Buffy, you're so sweet. You are so good to eat.
So you can stop laughing now.
I don't think so.
It's creepy.
No, it's not creepy because it's real. I mean, how can you really get over Spike's fever daydream? That's never gonna happen.
I guess.
So, where did Dawn? How did she come into this extremely entertaining convulsion?
She was with Spike yesterday afternoon, and I think she's got a little crush on him.
What?
I knew he had this weird fixation for me, but
I'm the one she has a crush on, Buffy.
let's go. There's nothing here.
It's always been me, big funny Xander, and then she just suddenly decides that I'm not the cool one anymore. Why is that okay?
Yeah.
Interior Buffy's kitchen night. On Buffy as she nears the entrance to the kitchen and sees Buffy's point of view, Dawn and Joyce through the doorway. Joyce is telling a story. Joyce?
But they didn't get that it was a copy of a bill lading. They thought it was another order. So now I've got 2 shipments of Greek amphorae on my hands.
On Buffy smiling, reverse angle traveling with Buffy as Spike comes into frame, sitting on the counter across from Joyce and Dawn. On Buffy again, her smile quickly fading, replaced by a wave of discomfort. No one in the room has noticed her yet. Spike is trying to participate civilly.
Funny, and really, how many of them do you need? Amphorae.
Joyce looks up and sees Buffy.
Buffy, Spike came over to apologize. Our missing child drama.
Even though it was so not his fault.
And he just decided to hang for a while.
Well, I got started talking about the gallery. So there is this bill lady.
Oh, don't get us all laughing again, Joyce. Anyhow, I really need to talk to your eldest.
What about?
Spike is down off the counter and beckons her to follow him away from Joyce and Dawn.
Got a bit of info you might be keen on knowing.
Sorry, all out of cash. Maybe you should hit up Giles or hit on Giles.
I got a bead on the guys who killed these people, the ones on the train.
Do tell.
I'll do better than that. I'll show. What's the matter?
Nothing, just
2 vamps holed up in a warehouse downtown.
abandoned?
Are there any other kind in this town? Well, what are you waiting for? Grab your coat and pointy sticks.
Buffy moves off. He follows. Interior, Spike's car, alley night. On Buffy and Spike sitting wordlessly in the front seat of his parked car, staked out in the alley. Buffy peers out the windshield down the alley, then casually cheats a glance at Spike. He sees her looking and offers a tentative grin. Uncomfortable, Buffy looks away. Spike leans and reaches across her. Buffy recoils.
Hey,
Spike pops open the glove compartment and pulls out a flask and takes a long drink. He wipes the mouth of the flask on his sleeve and offers it to Buffy, who just looks at him.
Ew.
It's not blood, it's bourbon.
Ew.
Suit yourself. I wasn't trying to get you sizzled, though thought you might want a warmer is all.
Spike puts the flask back in the glove compartment and slaps it closed. Starts to hum a tune lightly to himself, tapping on the steering wheel. Turns again to Buffy.
You like the Ramones?
Where are the bad guys? It's been almost an hour.
Promised location, not timeliness. Cold night, I could put the heater on if...
I'm fine. If you're not doing this for the money, then why?
Buffy looks up to see. Through the windshield, a Mutt and Jeff pair of vamps silhouetted against the lights mounted in the alley as they enter a condemned warehouse through a door with a broken chain.
Them?
Spike stealthily opens his door and steps out. Buffy does the same, though with a lot less stealth.
Imagine these rotters are tougher than they look. Probably very crafty and wiry.
As they moved around a car and come together in the alley, Spike turns her and seemingly offers his open hand. Buffy eyes it with uncertainty.
Steak? Don't use them usually, but for these two, it's best to be prepared.
He moves off, not seeing Buffy's relieved exhale. She follows him off. Interior warehouse, on Mutt rifling through a pile of CD as Jeff's got Jiffy Pop going on a hot plate. After a couple of moments, they look up as Buffy approaches. Mutt and Jeff slowly rise to their feet.
The Slayer.
Buffy positions herself into a fighting stance, waiting for the two vamps to charge her. Instead, they turn away. They turn and run away, whimpering with the fear as they clamber out of the windows near the back.
Well, that was sad. I'm embarrassed for our kind. So, should we chase him then? Can't have gone far.
Those vamps have been here a while. They've nested.
So, you're saying there are a couple of poofters?
No, I'm saying they had nothing to do with last night's murder.
How do you figure?
Whoever did it just arrived in town last night. It looks like you just wasted my time. What are you?
I wasn't thinking.
What is this, Spike?
Don't get your knickers twisted. I was just...
No, I mean, what is this? The late night stakeout, the bogus suspects, the flask? Is this a date?
Please, a date? You're completely off your bird. I mean, do you want it to be?
Oh, no. Are you out of your mind?
It's not so unusual. Two people in the workplace, feelings develop.
No, feelings do not develop. No feelings.
You can't deny it. There's something between us.
Loathing, disgust.
Heat, desire.
Please, you're a vampire, Spike.
Angel was a vampire.
Angel had a soul. He was good.
And I can be too. I've changed, Buffy.
You mean the chip? That's not change. That's just holding you back. You're like a serial killer in prison.
Women marry them all the time, but I'm not like that. Something's happening to me. I can't stop thinking about you. And if it means turning my back on the whole evil thing...
Stop. You don't mean this. You don't even know what feelings are.
I damn well do. I lie awake every night.
You sleep during the day.
Yeah, but you're missing the point. This is real here. I love...
No, don't say it. Don't. I'm going.
Come on, we need to.
We do not need to do anything. There is no we. Understand?
Buffy.
Interior Spike's crypt night. Spike enters in a haze of despair. He stops sensing something in the darkness.
Who's there?
A happy memory, pretty Spike. Look who's come to make everything right again.
Blackout. Interior Spike's crypt. A little later, nighttime. Spike stands and watches. The camera follows Drusilla casually moving about the room, taking everything in.
So, let me get this straight. Darla got mojoed back from the beyond. You vamped her, and now you and she are working on turning Angel into his own bad self again.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds fun.
It is. Like lollipops at the circus. Although, didn't care much for Angelus setting us on fire.
And it's got you, what, all nostalgic now, has it?
I want to be a family again, my William. Come back with me.
To Los Angeles? Done the LA scene, Drew. Didn't agree with me. Besides, got a sweet little setup here in Sunny D. Decent digs, not to mention all the tasty townies I can eat.
Naughty, you shouldn't make up stories. I already know why you're not coming. Poor boy, tin soldiers put funny little knickknacks in your brain. Can't hunt, can't hurt, can't kill. You've got a chip.
All right, so you heard. Poor Spike's become a cautionary tale for vampires. Be good, kiddies, or they might just wire you up someday. And that's what this say about you then, eh? Are you so addicted to torment that you come all the way from LA just to rub a bit of salt in the wound?
You misunderstand. I don't come to torture. Well, not you anyway. You see, I don't believe in science. All those little bits and molecules no one's ever seen. I trust eyes and heart alone. And do you know what mine are singing out now? You're a killer. Born to slash, born to bash and bleed like beautiful poetry. No little tinker toy's ever gonna stop you from flowing.
Yeah, but the pain, love, you don't understand. It's searing, blinding.
All in your head. I can see it. A little bit of plastic spider webbing out nasty blue shocks, and everyone is a lie. Electricity lies, Spike. It tells you you're not a bad dog, but you are. You're my bad dog, and you bite.
Mm. Mm.
Who the heck is this?
Oh, bloody hell.
Who is... Oh, wait. I get it. Our little sex game was just the beginning. Now you gone and picked up some cheap queen of the damned to dress up like your precious Drusilla.
Harmony.
And you better not be thinking what I think you're thinking, because my answer is the same as always. No threesomes, unless it's boy, boy, girl. Or Charlize Theron.
Harmony, you moron. This is Drusilla.
Oh, well, you got some nerve showing up like this after all this time. After breaking my sweet boo-boo's heart. Do you have any idea how hard it's been to break down the walls he put after you left? I mean, serious trust issues.
Harm.
And it's no use crawling back to him now, because Spiky don't play with that anymore, Morticia.
It was fun while it lasted, Harm, really. But I think it's best if you hit the road now.
Why? Because she's back?
No, because I am.
And there you are, my darling, deadly boy.
Drew smiles as they look into each other's eyes. Then Spike kisses her deeply, like old times. Interior Buffy's living room night. Close on the shocked expression on Willow's face.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I mean, whoa, God.
You can stop when you get to Moo.
He actually told you. He said, I love you.
I didn't let him get that far, but I could see the words coming.
Honey, did you somehow unintentionally lead him on in any way? Send him signals?
Well, I do beat him up a lot. For him, that's like third base.
Oh, Buffy, I'm really worried.
So am I. He could become dangerous.
Not really. As long as it's Chips Ahoy in Spike's head, he can't hurt me or any of you guys. Besides, this will blow over. I'm sure it's just some weird Spike thing. He'll have the hots for some Gak demon before we know it.
I don't know. Sometimes these things can get pretty twisted.
And Spike, he's
pretty twisted.
You've made it clear, right? That it could never happen. That there was no possible way. Ever.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. I was kind of thrown.
You have to talk to him again, Buffy.
What? No, I have to avoid him again.
Not until you shut him down completely. If he thinks he has even a little chance with you, there's no telling what he'll do.
Interior, the Bronze, night. As a hot, vital new band performs on stage, Spike hands Drew the glass of champagne they drink, moving to the dance floor. New angle on Spike and Drusilla dancing sensuously. At some point, Drusilla looks up. A boy and a girl making out on the upper level catwalk. She takes Spike's hand and starts dancing him toward the stairs. Interior, Buffy's living room, night. Buffy putting on her jacket by the door. I know this is hard, honey, but I think you made the right decision. Better to nip this in the bud before
the bud nips me.
Buffy, if you want, I can go with. Back you up with some scowling.
Thanks, but I think this is something I have to do myself. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this whole thing's been blown out of proportion and Spike's gone back to wanting me dead.
Here's hoping.
You know what, though? There's something I'd like you to do while I'm gone.
Interior, the Bronze, night. As the band plays Close on the Boy Girl Kissing, oblivious as we see Drusilla and Spike walk toward the menacing slow motion shot, the two of them coming forward deliberately. As they reach the boy and girl, Spike halts and hangs back. Drew, in vamp face, marches up to the girl. Spike holds back, letting Drew walk ahead of him. He watches, unsure. Drew walks up to the girl, grabs the girl's head and twists, crack, snapping her neck. Before the boy can respond, Drew clamps his hand over his mouth. Too freaked out to move. Trapped, wide-eyed, terrified. Spike, feeding more and more ravenously. Interior, Spike's crypt, night. Buffy appears at the entrance and raps on the door. The knocks echo a bit through the musty crypt.
Spike? Hello? Are you here?
She noses around a bit, then finds nothing. She turns to leave, then stops when the floor she's walking on seems to give a little. She looks down on a stone covering the hole in the floor, rocking a bit as it was left partially ajar. Buffy crouches down and then pushes away. Descending the ladder, propped up by the opening, illuminated by the shaft of light spilling in from above, she reaches the bottom. Buffy holds the torch and moves about the chamber. Exploring, she comes to a large opening where the wall's been broken through. The flame of the torch flickers from the draft emanating from within. Buffy notices an extinguished torch mounted to the wall and lights it with one in her hand. Other details on Buffy, horrified yet fascinated as she wills herself to step closer. On top of the table amid several candles are a couple of steak shard, a large gauze pad with dry blood. Buffy puts a hand to the healed wound underneath her rib cage. She then, oh shoot, this is a lot of reading. A small open drawer revealing several pairs of familiar looking underwear. Then Buffy turns and sees the blonde mannequin torso. It's wearing her sweater. Sufficiently free, Buffy spins and flees. Interior, Spike's crypt a moment later as she emerges from the subchamber to find Spike squatting at the entrance waiting for her.
See anything interesting?
Spike, What happened?
Me.
You remember my ex, don't you, Slayer? She came back, she did. Couldn't live without me.
My boy's been feeding again. But I know what he really wants to eat.
She gives Buffy another jab with the oh shoot. She gives Buffy another jab with the prod. Buffy spasms and loses consciousness. Spike moves in behind Drusilla.
Shall we tie her up and play with her a teensy bit first?
I'm through playing.
Oh, I like it when you're dour and straight to business like. All right then. Let's put our little toy away, back in its box, with posies and pennies for...
Bloody well through playing.
Interior Spike's crypt subchamber. Later, close on Buffy's face during a wake, we widen as she discovers she's suspended from the ceiling, her hands shackled above her head. The room is more illuminated than before, as more torches along the wall are lit.
There she is. I was beginning to think you'd sleep the night away.
Drusilla.
Not nice to change the game in mid-play, Spike. You've taken my chair and the music hasn't stopped.
Sorry, pet. My house, my rules.
I think I shall be very cross when I'm free again.
What's going on?
Simple. I'm going to prove something. I love you.
Oh my God.
Look at me. I love you. You're all I bloody think about, dream about. You're in my gut, my throat. I'm drowning in you, Summers. Drowning in... And do without the laugh track, Drew.
Oh, but it's so funny. I knew before you did. I knew that you loved the Slayer. The pixies in my head whispered it to me. I thought they would fly away.
You can't tell me that there isn't anything there between you and me, Buffy. I know you feel something.
It's called revulsion. And whatever you think you're feeling, it's not love. You can't love without a soul.
Oh, we can, you know. We can love quite well, if not wisely.
You still don't believe. Still don't think I mean it. You want proof? How's this? I'm going to kill Drusilla for you.
That's not going to prove anything except that you're a miserable, sick vampire that I should have dusted a long time ago. And hey, already there.
Don't mock this.
Go mock yourself.
This is Drusilla, girl. Do you have the slightest idea how much she means to me? This is the face of my salvation. Before Drew, I was nothing, a speck. But when she bit me, she delivered me from mediocrity. For over a century, we cut a swath through the continent, shared a bed, drank from the same vein. 100 years, and she never stopped surprising me. Never stopped taking me to new depths. I was a lucky bloke to touch such a black beauty. Lucky just to stand in her light.
Aww. Ow!
So you see, it means something.
Not to me. Killer. Why do I care?
Here's why. If you don't admit that there's something there, some tiny, tiny feeling for me, then I'll untie Drew and let her kill you instead.
Oh, yes, please. I like that game much better.
Just give me something, a crumb, the barest smidge. Tell me someday, maybe there's a chance.
Spike, The only chance you had with me was when I was unconscious.
What the bleeding hell is wrong with you bloody women? What the hell does it take? Why do you bitches torture me?
Which question do you want me to answer first?
I'm at the end of my bleeding tether. I don't even know why I even bother. It's your fault, Drew. You're to blame for all this, you know.
Am I?
Bloody right you are. If you hadn't left me for that chaos demon, I'd never come back here. Wouldn't have this salt and chip in my skull. And you, Buffy, you wouldn't be able to touch me. Because this thing with you, it's wrong. I know it. Not a complete idiot. You think I like having you here, destroying everything that was me until all that's left is you in a dead shell? You say you hate it, but you won't leave. What I should just do is get rid of both of you, burn you, cut you into little pieces, so there wouldn't be more bins to cock things up for. Oh, great, it's you.
What about me, Spike? Huh? Forget about me again? The actual girlfriend? I gave you the best bunch of months of my life. I did everything to please you. Did you ever once think about my wants, my fantasies?
Not as such, no.
Well, they were deep and beautiful, and you should have.
That's right, little girl. Teach our naughty boy a lesson. Such a disappointment to all of us he is.
So now you're all ganging up.
I thought I could change you, Spike. I thought maybe if I gave and gave and gave, you'd come around. Maybe be a little nicer. Stop treating me like your dog. But now I see it's you. You're the dog who needs to be put down.
Spike lunges at her. Buffy and Drew watch. After a moment, they both have the same thought and look at each other. Instantly, they begin struggling with their restraints in a race to free themselves. The winner is sure to exact punishment on the loser. Spike is on top of Harmony on the ground.
Oh, you're on my hair.
Drew choking Buffy.
Hear the pretty music? It's a dirge, I think, for your funeral. But it's not here.
Suddenly, she's broadsided by Spike and hits the ground hard. Spike grabs a key out of his pocket and unlocks Buffy restraints. Drew pulls herself to her feet, then turns to face them. On Drusilla, eyeing Spike with pity.
Poor Spike, so lost. Even I can't help you now.
Buffy and Spike stand silently for a moment, breathing hard. Harmony appears.
And you can say goodbye to this. Because you're not going to see it anymore. Unless you run into me somewhere and it's me walking away from you. But even then, I'll probably just, back away.
Buffy turns to look at Spike. He looks back at her with an expression of shame, guilt, and a plea for something. Forgiveness. He opens his mouth and to say something, and Buffy punches him hard in the face, sending him crashing into the shrine, demolishing it. Spike, lying amidst the shattered remains of his testament of Slayer love, he looks up at Buffy, who turns away and storms up the ladder. Buffy's house later that night. Buffy moving up the walk. Spike's only now just caught up to her.
Buffy. Buffy, come on, now stop. You can't walk away from this.
What part of punching you in the face do you not understand?
See, so we had a fight, not our first love. It doesn't have to change anything.
This changes everything. You're out, Spike. I want you out of this town. I want you off this planet. You don't ever come near me, my friends, or my family again, ever. Do you understand?
No, it's not that easy. We have something, Buffy, but it's not pretty, but it's real. And there's nothing either one of us can do about it. Like it or not, I'm in your life. You can't just shut me out.
He suddenly slams up. He suddenly slams up the invisible barrier at the threshold. He looks out Buffy, who eyes him coldly. Reverse angle on Spike as she closes the door in his face, taking us into blackout. End of show. All right. Can we get all the actors back on screen, please? Well, thank you all for tuning in to Love Bites, Buffy the Vampire Slayer reading. Give a big round of applause for the cast. Wave, everyone. If you liked what you saw, you can tune in to highwireimprov.com for more shows. I think where you can tune into March Madness, which is coming up this week, right, y'all? Is it this week?
Yeah, starting tomorrow.
Just tomorrow.
Yeah, it starts tomorrow. So March Madness, I believe it's over 30 teams competing for glory, gold, and peer validation from other improvisers. So tune into that, highwireimprov.com. My name is Rashid. This is the cast of Love Bites. Y'all have a good night.
Hi, everybody.
Bye.